Welcome back to the Mindset Shifts podcast. Today, we're talking about a topic that's often misunderstood, sometimes stigmatized, and yet deeply important: depression. Now, when most people hear the word depression, they think of sadness. But here's the thing: depression is not just feeling sad. It's not something you can just snap out of. It's a complex mental health condition that affects millions of people around the world, and maybe even silently, someone you know, or maybe even you. In today's episode, we'll break down what depression really is, what it feels like, why it happens, and most importantly, how healing and hope are possible. Let's start with the simple but crucial question: what is depression? Depression is more than just a mood. It's a medical condition that affects your emotions, your thoughts, and even your body. Imagine waking up every day feeling like you're carrying a heavy backpack full of bricks, even though you haven't lifted a thing. That's what depression can feel like. The medical term often used is major depressive disorder. It involves persistent feelings of sadness, emptiness, or hopelessness that last for weeks, months, or even years. And it's not just about emotions. Depression can change your appetite, your sleep, your energy levels, and even how you experience pleasure. What makes depression so tricky is that it looks different for different people. For some, it's crying often and feeling hopeless. For others, it's not being able to feel anything, just numbness. And for many, it's functioning on the outside, working, smiling, socializing, while silently suffering inside. So, no, depression isn't just sadness. It's an illness, and like any illness, it deserves understanding, compassion, and treatment. So, how do you know if someone is struggling with depression? Well, here are some common signs: persistent sadness or emptiness that doesn't go away, loss of interest in activities that used to bring joy, changes in appetite or weight, either eating much less or much more, sleep problems, struggling to fall asleep, waking up too early or sleeping too much, fatigue and lack of energy, even without much activity, difficulty concentrating or making decisions, feelings of worthlessness or excessive guilt, thoughts of death or suicide in severe cases. But here's the important part: not everyone has all these symptoms. Some people may just feel constantly tired. Others may seem irritable instead of sad. And some may even hide their pain completely. That's why depression can be so invisible. On the outside, someone might look perfectly fine. They may laugh at jokes, go to work, post on social media. But inside, they're fighting a silent battle every single day. Recognizing these signs, whether in yourself or others, is the first step towards support and healing. Now, the big question: why does depression happen? The truth is, there's no single cause. Depression usually comes from a mix of factors: biological, psychological, and social. Biological factors. Sometimes, depression is linked to chemical imbalances in the brain, especially neurotransmitters like serotonin and dopamine. Genetics can also play a role. If depression runs in your family, you may be more likely to experience it. Psychological factors. Certain personality traits, like being overly self-critical or perfectionist, can make people more vulnerable. Past trauma, unresolved grief, or chronic stress also increase the risk. And social factors matter too. Life circumstances, financial stress, job loss, loneliness, or toxic relationships can all contribute to depression. And it's worth mentioning that depression doesn't always need a clear reason. Some people wake up one day feeling depressed even when their life looks good on paper. That's because depression is not just about circumstances. It's an illness, and it can affect anyone, regardless of age, gender, or success. So when someone says, "Why are you depressed? You have everything you need," remember, that's not how depression works. It's not a weakness. It's not a choice. It's a condition that deserves empathy and care. Okay, so what can be done about depression? The good news is it's treatable. People do recover, and life can absolutely get better. Here are some of the most effective approaches. Professional help. Therapy is one of the best tools. Cognitive behavioral therapy, for example, helps people challenge negative thought patterns. Sometimes medication can also help balance brain chemistry, especially for severe cases. Lifestyle changes. Small steps like regular exercise, a healthy diet, and good sleep habits make a surprising difference. Exercise in particular is proven to boost mood and energy. Social support. Having someone to talk to, whether it's a friend, family member, or support group, can be life-saving. Depression thrives in isolation, so connection is key. And self-compassion. Learning to treat yourself with kindness instead of harsh self-criticism can slowly rebuild self-esteem. And here's something really important. Recovery is not linear. Some days will feel better, others will feel worse. That doesn't mean you're failing. Healing from depression takes time, patience, and support. If you or someone you know is struggling with depression, please remember the most powerful thing to think is you are not alone and help is available. So, here's the takeaway. Depression is real, it's common, and it's serious, but it's also treatable. It's not a sign of weakness. It's not something to be ashamed of. It's a human experience that deserves compassion and care. If you're listening right now and struggling with depression, please know you matter. Your life matters. And reaching out for help is not a weakness. It's one of the bravest things you can do. And if you know someone battling depression, sometimes the most powerful thing you can say is, "I'm here. You're not alone." Thank you for joining me on today's Mindset Shifts podcast. If this episode helped you understand depression better, share it with someone who might need it. And remember, your mental health is just as important as your physical health. Stay strong, stay kind, and I'll see you in the next episode.